Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so today we're decoding a pretty fascinating mystery. How to remember everything like Japanese students do, and more importantly, how you can do it too. I mean, how are they memorizing thousands of complex characters, keeping them locked in for years, and doing it without studying 24/7? Well, let's jump right in and uncover how you can totally transform your own brain's potential.
So let's kick things off with a super frustrating scenario. One we have all experienced when cramming for a big test, a final exam, or, a professional certification. You sit down, you focus hard, you put in hours of grueling work, only to wake up the very next day and realize your brain is totally, completely blank. It's terrifying. And honestly, it feels terrible, right?
But here's the thing, it actually isn't your fault. It's not a lack of intelligence. It is mathematically and scientifically proven that human brains naturally dump about 70% of what they learn in just one single day. Yep, 70%. That leaves you holding on to a mere 30% of all that hard work. So it's not a discipline issue at all. It's literally just how our biology is wired.
Because of this, the crucial point to understand is that without the right cognitive tools, your effort is basically like trying to fill a leaking bucket. You're pouring all this time and energy in, but it's just draining right out the bottom. Psychologists actually call this the forgetting curve. See, your brain is constantly bombarded with information, so it treats new learning as irrelevant background noise, kind of like an annoying internet ad you just scroll past. And it completely discards it within days unless you use proper methods to signal, hey, this information actually matters.
And that brings us to a huge crossroads in how we approach education. While we were traditionally taught passive habits that frankly just do not stick, things like casually reading the textbook, highlighting half the page in bright neon colors, or frantic late-night cramming, Japanese students beat the system. They utilize 5 specific, highly practical methods to study smarter, not harder, and it allows them to retain massive amounts of information effortlessly.
So let's break these tools down. Method 1. Active recall, training your brain like a muscle. Now, a lot of us mistakenly think learning happens when we're putting information in, like reading a textbook or watching a lecture. But actually, scratch that, it's the exact opposite. Real durable learning happens when you actively struggle to pull that information out. Just like lifting weights physically tears and grows your muscles, forcing yourself to retrieve information actively trains your brain. A fantastic way to do this is the blank page challenge. You literally just close your book, grab a blank piece of paper, and write down absolutely everything you remember without peeking. That struggle you feel, that is the exact sensation of your memory getting stronger.
All right, let's move on to our second technique. Method 2, the Kumon method, building one block at a time.
This approach is widely used in Japanese schools, and it completely avoids overwhelming the brain with marathon study sessions. Instead, you're building knowledge one single block at a time through just 15 to 30 minutes of daily, highly focused effort. To put this into perspective, best-selling author James Clear points out in his book Atomic Habits that making just a tiny 1% improvement every day makes you a staggering 37 times better over the course of a single year. You really don't need giant leaps.
Because Kumon isn't about doing a massive amount of work all at once, it's about doing a little bit really, really well every single day. This totally redefines studying because the main takeaway here is consistency over intensity. It is far, far superior for your brain's retention to study for just 20 minutes a day for a week than to cram for 5 miserable hours the night before.
Which leads us perfectly into Method 3, spaced repetition, watering the plant.
Think about a houseplant for a second. You don't just dump a massive bucket of water on it once a month, right? If you do, it floods and, well, promptly dies. Memory works the exact same way. Instead of cramming, you strategically revisit the material right before your brain starts to forget it. You intercept that forgetting curve by spacing your review out over a timeline. Say 1 day, then 3 days, then 1 week. Every single time you intersect that curve, you are lacking that memory in for the long haul.
The fourth Japanese concept on our list is Method 4, Kaizen, small daily progress.
Kaizen actually translates to change for the better. And in practice, it means completely abandoning hours of stressful studying in favor of tiny, consistent improvements. Look how incredibly accessible this is. You can actually drastically improve your memory with just a 6-minute daily habit. Step 1, 2 minutes of active recall. Step 2, 2 minutes of spaced repetition. Step 3, 2 minutes of focused practice. That is literally it. Execute this exact sequence daily, and you will be absolutely amazed at your progress in just 1 month.
And that brings us to our final method, Method 5, deep focus or SU, triggering your brain.
Now, we all know how ridiculously easy it is to get distracted by a phone notification or, just a random daydream. Japanese students bypass this entirely by training their minds to enter deep focus on command, relying on really powerful environmental signals. You could light a specific candle, sit in the exact same spot, use a specific pen, or even play a dedicated calm playlist. By creating this sensory ritual, free from distractions, you literally command your brain to shift gears. When that candle is lit, your brain automatically knows, okay, it's time to absorb and retain complex information. Now, I know seeing all 5 of these methods at once can feel like a lot to take in, but you don't have to change everything today. Just start with one of these simple, science-backed methods right now. Pick the blank page challenge tomorrow morning, or maybe set up a small focus ritual tonight, and witness firsthand how easily you can conquer that forgetting curve.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to remember this. The top 1% of learners aren't naturally smarter, they just learn differently. Possessing a great memory isn't some rare genetic gift or a magic trick. It's simply a matter of having the right tools in your toolkit and applying them consistently.
So I want to leave you with a quick challenge. The next time you sit down to study, are you going to keep pouring water into a leaky bucket, or are you going to build your knowledge one block at a time? Which of these 5 Japanese techniques will you use to unlock your brain's true potential today? Let us know your answer in the comments below. And hey, if you found this explainer helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to Science Simplified for more incredible insights. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.